little bit perturbed. Well, and of course, Paulie kind of egged him on a little bit there. But once they got into this position, the tempers were frayed a little bit. And now some aggression from Zab Judah, which was lacking earlier. But
now you want to fight?
It's too bad because for the most part, it has been a respectful lead into this fight. But a lot of passion there.
Zab Judah, you need to retire, man. You suck. You wasn't even interested.
By the way, it's
couldn't even do
that by Paulie, less than he usually has in terms of color.
Zab Judah, you didn't even throw no fucking punch, man.
Still to come, an encore episode of the premiere of All Access. Broder, Maidana, that fight coming your way a week from tonight from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Adrian Broder defending the title here. Malignaggi and Judah.
Dumb motherfucker.
All right, let's go to Judah.
He ain't want to fight, bitch. Retire.
Unanimous decision here. The score totals. Judging ringside, Michael Purdick scores about 116 to 111. Judges Max DeLuca and Adelaide Bird both scored about 117 to 110. All three in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. From Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, Paulie.
Too easy. Easy fight for Paulie. Easy fight. Zab Judah, you should fucking retire, man. It's fucking great.
And he emerges as the parent of Brooklyn boxing as he wins the battle of Brooklyn via a commanding unanimous decision.
And a tough night for Zab Judah, obviously, but for Paulie, a very, very, I think, gratifying win for him. The Broner fight in which he fought well but lost a very close decision, stuck in his craw. And I think he feels good about getting back in the ring. And
now wear that damn jersey, Zab, what you supposed to be wearing.
Thank you very much, Paulie. Congratulations.
Oh, man.
How gratified are you to win this fight?
There was a lot of pressure, man, you know. I've been in a lot of big fights, but, you know, you don't want to lose at home to another hometown fighter, man. These kind of fights rarely happen when you have two world-class guys from the same vicinity, same geography. You know, usually when that happens, we fight each other on the way up, not after we've already achieved world-class stardom, you know. So this was a fight with world-class implications, but at the same time it was a local rivalry. So it was a lot of pressure, man. I'm glad I was able to get the W because that was a tough customer.
Did you feel coming into this fight that you were going to be the busier and faster fighter?
I felt I had to be. I knew Zab had the punching advantage. I knew he was a bigger puncher, but I felt like if we backed him up, he doesn't fight very well going backwards, you know. So I kept trying to back him up the whole fight as much as I could, including the last round. I knew in the last round he was going to need a knockout to win. And I said, if I let him get that forward momentum, he could get lucky. So let me try to keep backing him up even in the last round. We were really sharp in camp. We had great sparring partners, Cleopas Pendarvis, William Shamal Wade. We worked with Luis Collazo, Angel Garcia, not the trainer, the young prospect from New York. You know, we had great work. My timing was real sharp, you know. So I knew even if I held my ground, I could get him to back up with my counter shots.
Paulie, we all know you're an emotional guy. How were you able to manage to regroup after the controversial knockdown, which was ruled a knockdown in the second round?
That knockdown was bullshit, man. I tripped over his leg. He did clip me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but he didn't clip me with a shot that hurt me. It kind of grazed my mouth, and I was trying to spin. You know, sometimes on lefties, we try to make this move where we kind of try to spin on the outside. But if your foot is on the inside when you make the spin move, you're going to trip over the other guy's foot, and that's what happened. As I made the spin move,
all right, let's take a look at it. Tell me how you were able to regroup, though, because you're clearly aggravated and upset.
I wasn't
even upset by it.
Of course, because I felt like I might lose the momentum. See, the shot kind of grazed me, hit me on the side. You see, you don't see the legs there, but I'm trying to spin around, and I kind of clipped his front foot. It happens a lot with lefties and righties, but you know, I even warned the referee. I warned Mike in the locker room. I said, yo, just it's lefty righty, watch the leg trips. You know what? We're gonna trip up each other. Just be careful with that. What happens in round two? That what I was scared of happened, but you know, luckily I was able to regroup. You know, Zab's a world-class operator, man. You know, I knew I couldn't take him lightly, and once he took, I was worried about him taking back the momentum in round two after I had a good round one. So I had to kind of regroup myself mentally and kind of get back on the horse, so to speak.
And to fight against a guy who coached you, and you have clearly stated throughout this whole promotion that you really like. You know, is that a difficult prospect? You're both in your backyard. Half the fans for Zab, half the fans for you.
It is because you know, he's a guy who He was a guy who, you know, had done so much before I accomplished anything. So in the gyms, in the local New York scene, I really looked up to him, you know. Honestly, I didn't even think I was going to fight anymore. I got a call from Sam Watson and Team Heyman, you know, and they offered me this fight and said, win this fight, and you're going to get big things, Paulie. And
what does that mean?
I was really shocked.
Tell me what that means.
I don't know what that, I don't know exactly what that means, but I'll tell you what, all Al Heyman fighters get the big fights. So I was ecstatic, because I didn't think I was fighting again. I had it. After that Broner controversial decision, I had it. I had gained weight. I wasn't training. I didn't care. I got a call from Sam, and Sam changed everything. He said, you know what? I'm back in the car. I'm back on the horse. I'm riding back off, and I'm looking for these big fights. So thank you, Al Heyman, Sam Watson, and to all Team Heyman.
All right, Paulie, you made up for all the time you were not able to talk tonight. Congratulations to you, and I guess most importantly, you're going to be able to go to the barbershop, huh?
Yes, I'm going to go to the barbershop, and I want Brooklyn to stand up right now, man. I felt like this was a unified Brooklyn. This is a local rivalry. Both neighborhoods were in a civil war, but me and Zach, we show that sport can unite everything, man. I'm serious. I'm not just saying that because it's a sport. It's a sport. It's more than that. It unifies us. Me and Zach represent Brooklyn for the past decade. We synonymous with Brooklyn boxing for the past decade. I looked up to this guy, and he was one of the guys that I looked up to on the way up that pushed me to work hard.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Sam, I know there's considerable disappointment. How would you assess your performance here tonight?
It was a little different than I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? I knew I had to go get him, but you know, it was different than I thought it was. He didn't really want to engage in a fight, you know what I mean? I wanted to fight more. Paulie kept me boxing. Stayed on the outside, and just kept working his jab and sliding around.
It seemed like you weren't able to get that left hand in there and to get it established. How come?
I don't know, man. You know, so I mean, Paulie did a good job of staying on the outside. I mean, you can't take no credit away from him. He used his speed and stayed away, you know what I mean?
This is a tough question, and I don't mean it to be derogatory, but Amir and Al Bernstein and Steve Farwood said that they looked in your eye a bit disinterested tonight. Would you say that's true?
Disinterested? No, I don't think so. I was very interested in the fight. I trained very hard for the fight. I was very motivated for the situation, and I was coming here to stand up for Brooklyn.
Did you feel as though after the great performance that you had against Danny Garcia that would carry over?
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? I trained very hard for this, like I said, and I came in here with all expectations of winning the fight and doing my best. And Paulie did a good job of staying outside and just boxing and just, using his lateral movement. My dad and my uncle told me to go get him, but people would tell you what to do, but then it just wasn't there.
This is a guy you like, and it's because he's from the same area. You coached him. Does it make it harder because it is a guy you like, or is it easier to accept?
No, I mean, it's a fight match, you know what I'm saying? Once we got in the ring, I didn't see Paulie, my friend. I seen an opponent across the ring that was trying to dethrone me and my family. And, I just had to step it up, you know what I'm saying? And just go in there and take it as a fight. That's it.
Sam, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. now with a special presentation. Jimmy?
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring, we have Barclays Center CEO Brett Yormark to present the first ever Brooklyn's World Championship